Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Get Hitched live wedding chat show. With me today we have Damian's Cocktails. We'll be talking about everything cocktails related, drinks related, bar setups related. First of its kind for the show, so it is an exclusive talking about cocktails. So join me in welcoming Damian to the show. So give me a second, let me just bring him into the stream. Okay. Hi Damian,
Hi Ben. How are you?
how's it going?
Yeah,
All good?
good, very good.
Great. How's nice setup there? Is that your actual bar setup?
Yes, it's my office bar.
Okay,
Yeah,
amazing. What do you have there? Like, cause I can see
mixed
some gin.
selection. I have gins, whiskeys. I have vodkas, some liqueurs. I mean, something from everything. Let's say. Basically, just to tell you something about it.
Yeah,
I was actually gonna build a bar in my house, and obviously, I like bartending. I like bars. I like beverages. So then I combined the office and bar together. So it's quite good.
cool. What's your favorite drink? Would you say is it like whiskey? Are you a more of a gin guy?
I would say whiskey. I would say
Whiskey.
whiskey. I like even whiskey cocktails. But honestly, okay, I drink some cocktails, which we make a lot. But I like also wine and beer. So that's could say it's my favorite.
Cool. All right. So let's we kind of already got into it, but tell us a bit about Damien. Who is Damien and Damien's cocktails? Tell us the whole story.
Well, basically, I've always worked in the hospitality industry, in the catering industry. I started like my first job was in the catering. Um, well, I started in a restaurant to be honest, but then after a few months, I moved on to bars, especially bars in five-star hotels where the service obviously it's a very high standard of service, so you get to learn a lot as well. And in the way, I was also thinking of opening my own business. I mean, I used to always dream of either having a restaurant or a cocktail bar, to be honest, all
Right.
those times. And yeah, so time passed. Um, before I even opened my own business, I also used to do the cocktail thing through other caterers, through hotels that used to have like functions of weddings and used to tell me to work the cocktail bars for them. So this is even before I started my own. And from then, um, I had a bit of experience. I mean, in this line. So
Right.
basically, it all happened as, to be honest, one of my cousins was getting married. So this is, I think, it's about 2005 or six. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And she requested that I make a cocktail bar for her wedding. So it was something I used to do, as I said, but not as my own. And so yeah, I started. I built a bar especially for my cousin. I bought glassware, I bought equipment, and yeah, I went to her wedding, and it went really well. The following week, I got a call from a couple that were at her wedding, and also requested that I do a cocktail bar for their wedding, which was in a year or 2 years time, I forgot.
Amazing.
And yeah, I started from there. So then I said, okay, we'll start building up. I built some more new bars that time, and it went on. So till today, it's always grown and grown.
So you said 2005, 2006. That
Yes,
was
yep.
cool.
So 2006, I'm not mistaken, or five, I started advertising as Damien's Cocktails.
Right.
So
Amazing.
it's been quite a long time ago.
So would you, and then you said that from your cousin's wedding, another person contacted you. So would you say that your brand grew mostly through word of mouth, or did you start advertising? What was the
It's
strategy there?
both. I mean, at the beginning, it's through advertising, you could say, because people don't really know about you. But
Right.
once you get to do the actual event, people are gonna see you, and if they see obviously a good service,
Yeah.
um, they're gonna be interested in what you're doing and also contact you for their events. So
Right.
it worked out obviously not fast. I mean, it's not you open and you're popular or you open and you have a lot of work. It's also it's worked slowly, but it's always grown and grown over the years. So till today we are doing very good.
Brilliant. Okay. Cool. So going to the next question here, you're known to have competed in quite a number of competitions.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a bit more about this? Have they been local, foreign? What type of competitions? Were there any awards?
Okay, so competitions is something that are very challenging. Obviously, something that I really love doing. Um, I've been competing in competitions at around was around the year 2000, so just even before I opened, and it's very interesting. Obviously, you get to learn new techniques. You see also other bartenders doing their craft,
Right.
so you always learn with competitions. I've competed in many competitions, locally and internationally, with where I also have won some awards,
Cool.
locally and internationally. In fact, internationally, I had competed a few years back in Poland, and I also took silver medal in the World Cocktail Championship. So it's quite an achievement, and
Well done.
yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. But to be honest, cocktail competitions lately were taking a lot of my time. Let's say so. You have to
Right.
prepare what you're gonna do. Prepare obviously the recipe. You have to try it out. Well, that's not the big issue, but the issue was that most competitions are made like in summertime. Okay, so in summertime we are very busy with our
Right.
work, so I don't really have much time to go anymore to competitions. To be honest, I haven't competed in I think about 2 years now,
Right.
so I've given it a bit of a break. So well, one will see in the future, but at the time I've took a break from competitions. So.
I was going to ask because you mentioned that there are quite a lot of work. What does the are there different things that you would be competing for? Is it the taste? Is it the aesthetic of the cocktail? Is it the speed that you make it with? Or are there different?
I mean,
How does it work?
what you mentioned are all in it. So
Right.
when you compete in a competition, obviously most of the time they give you a base of the cocktail. So you have a sponsor which would provide the base. When I mean base, it means the main
Okay.
ingredient. Let's say a brand of whiskey or a brand of gin. Okay, and you have to make a cocktail with this beverage. Obviously, you use other ingredients. You
Right.
can use up to 6, 7 ingredients in the cocktail, and it's judged basically on taste. So taste is the most important part of the cocktail. However, also on the aroma of the cocktail, the presentation, the garnishing of the cocktail, the technique you use to make the cocktail. So that's also important. If you use a bad technique, you will be deducted points as well.
Right.
And you have a time limit as well. So you cannot just take forever to make a cocktail. I mean, you have a time
Okay.
limit, which is usually like about 5 cocktails in 7 minutes. So you have to be
Jesus.
really fast, and obviously you have to have a good technique, and obviously all the cocktails need to be exactly the same to get obviously so full marks. So it's quite interesting. It's quite challenging, but it's something that I have done for years, and now, as I said, I've taken a bit of a break from it.
Okay. Fair enough. And what was the last question on this? Is like, what was the your favorite winning cocktail that you ever made?
Well, my favorite winning would say the cocktail that I placed second in the World Championship, let's say.
Wow.
Um, uh, so that will be my top top cocktail. In fact, it was a fancy category because obviously you have the categories. They give you a category where you have to prepare either like a pre-dinner drink, an after-dinner drink, a long drink, a fancy drink, bubbly drink. Mine was a fancy. Well, I was in the fancy category, and yeah, I managed to clinch second place. So I took silver medal, and it was really good.
Nice. Cool. Okay, we have a comment here from Alberta saying hello. So thank you, Alberta, and hello.
Hi, Alberta. Hi.
Good to see you guys. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of inspiration, where do you get inspiration for creating new cocktails, Damien?
Well, as I said, when also you go to competitions or you even see international competitions online, you learn a lot. I mean, you learn how to not copy, but get inspired by certain techniques, certain ingredients used, and you do obviously your own. And to be honest, when I started back in around year 2000, I used to read a lot. I used to read a lot of magazines. I used to
Okay.
read a lot of cocktail books, cocktail recipes, and obviously it's not only about reading, but you have to also practice what you read. So it's not if I let's say I read a cocktail, I read a recipe,
Yeah.
and I never make it, and I try to remember it after 6 months. Most probably I will not remember it.
Right.
But once you have made the cocktail and maybe made it several times, um, first of all, you know how to always perfect your the recipe and the the final result. And also it will get in your head. I mean, you will obviously remember it for years and years. Obviously it has to be in you as well. I mean, I don't expect like Ben to make one cocktail today and remember it after 2 years, you know. But it
Yeah.
has to be in you. It's an art, and it's quite an interesting art. So that's what I used to do. So basically, also when I used to work in hotels, let's say, we used to do like the cocktail of the day. So that
Right.
was interesting as well. So some cocktails that I read, some cocktails that I make myself, we used to put them like on a board as a cocktail of the day and promote it throughout the evening. And obviously we get to make many cocktails. I mean, not one or two, but tens of them.
Yeah.
So obviously it helps out to learn and to remember these cocktails. So obviously we know hundreds of cocktails by heart. Obviously we don't know everything. I mean, no one knows everything. There are thousands and thousands of cocktails, but practice makes perfect, they say.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd be, excuse me, I don't know if would be putting you on the spot about this, but just for the viewers to know, Damien was kind enough to provide cocktails to the bride and groom to be in summer that they're getting married. They were supposed to be getting married, but they had to postpone. And Damien was kind enough to actually deliver and make on the spot and deliver cocktails to the couple to um, Naomi. Um, do you recall what the cocktail was there? Because I couldn't figure it out from the video.
To be honest, I made them two of my own recipes.
Right.
So it's not a recipe that everyone would know.
Okay.
Well, I could name them. One of them it was called the Great Meat, was a base of gin, and the other one was a base of Bailey's. It was like a creamy after dinner cocktail, and which is very nice as well. It is one of my creations as well. So it has
Cool.
chocolate inside. It was very nice.
Apparently, they even their cat liked it
Yeah.
because they left the drink there while they were eating or something, and they found the cat until they looked back. They found the cat was actually sipping in the drink.
All right,
So
that's nice. So I have
uh,
a new can have maybe cater for cats in the
yeah,
future.
yeah. Damien's cat cocktails.
Yeah.
طيب. Cool. So thanks for that. So going to the next question. And I welcome anyone. So thank you, Alberta, again. She corrected this to you guys. That's funny. I welcome anyone who has any questions for Damien. Please put them forward in the chat. We're happy to answer them. Thank you for the viewers that are currently at around 35, 40 all the time. So that's cool. So yeah, if you have any questions, anything that you'd like that comes to your mind, please pop it into the chat and we'll pop it up on the screen. Okay, so apart from cocktail bars, Damien, what else do you specialize in?
Well, obviously our cocktail bar is our main subject. I mean, our main thing that we specialize in. However, we also have different other styles of bars. Let's say a gin bar, a whiskey bar, a punch bar, um, beer bar. So these are all related to obviously the beverage industry, uh,
Right,
which which are not cocktails. Obviously the gin bar is like gin cocktails, let's say. However, like a whiskey bar or maybe the beer bar are not actually cocktails, but in the beverage industry. So we have a vast selection of bars to sell. Let's say the mojito bar. I mean, when I'm talking about like mojito bar, we don't just serve um, one mojito, which is the classic mojito. We can
right.
serve up to eight, let's say, different types of mojitos. So it's a mojito bar with a difference, And same goes with the gin bar, same goes with the whiskey bar. I mean, it's not just a whiskey. When we do whiskey bars, we also offer like premium whiskeys, obviously premium whiskeys, smoked whiskeys, um, whatever. So the beverage sector is very vast, and there's a lot to offer, to be honest.
Right. And what would you say? And we'll get into this a bit later. But what would you say is the most typical setup? Is it like a cocktail bar that caters for three, four cocktails? Is it like unlimited? Can they have a cocktail bar which is doing everything, and then they might have like a whiskey bar and a gin bar? How does it usually work?
Well, basically, when you have a cocktail bar, it's a side of the main bar. Okay, we're talking about weddings.
Sure.
So, in a wedding, there will be a main bar. Usually, the main bar is taken care by the food caterer,
Right.
and we will have a cocktail bar, which is a part of the main bar. Um, Obviously, if not a cocktail bar, it could be a whiskey bar, it could be a gin bar, it could be a wine bar, let's say. Um,
Right.
so these are a lot of bar ideas that one can have in their wedding. An advantage of having an additional bar is also that you will have a better flow of people, which means if you have, for example, a wedding of, let's say, 400 people, okay, and you have a main bar for 400 people, and then you introduce a cocktail bar. This means that half of the guests, let's say, will go obviously to the
Right.
cocktail bar. So there will be a better flow in two bars, and people will obviously get um, how do you say it? It will be quicker for them to get
Yeah.
served as well
More
in
and
better
more
bars.
more choice as
and
well.
it's more choice. It's fun. It's interesting. I mean, a cocktail bar is part of an entertainment show. Let's say in a wedding. I mean, people tend to take cocktail bars and see the barman doing the cocktail there and then. It has to be
Right.
fast. It has to be consistent. It has to be obviously a nice presentation. So it's a show for the guests that are seeing the cocktails being made. So it's another part of entertainment during the wedding, which
Right.
obviously it's very interesting for them.
Cool. Before I ask another question, we do have another comment saying hello from Rosie.
All right.
She's saying
Hi,
that's a
Rosie.
kind gesture, Damien. Yeah, she's referring for sure to the live show we did with the couple with Naomi.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Thanks, Rose.
the couple, he was named Damien as well.
Yeah, yeah, Naomi and Damien.
Damien.
Yeah. So if they're watching us, hello, Naomi and
Yeah.
Damien. I didn't forget your name, Damien of Naomi. I just didn't want to confuse the viewers with like Damien, double Damien. Okay. Um, so you already touched on it as well, but in terms of logistics, so if you have different bars, how do the logistics change? I know you even have like, I've seen like you have like this old facade as well, like the structure of the bar. Do you change that, or is it like a typical brand thing of Damien?
No, actually, many couples, when doing their wedding, they tend to choose a theme that they want for their wedding.
Right,
So it could be a modern style wedding, a classic, a vintage, a shabby chic style wedding.
right,
And we also have bar setups that adapt to their demands. So basically, if someone wants something on a classic style, we have a classic style bars. Something classic that people know us well with are also like the balcony bars. I don't know if you
yes.
ever saw them,
That's
but
what I'm referring to. Yeah, the balconies. Yeah,
all right. So those are actually we built them ourselves, and they are bars which really attract people, attract even foreign clients, and they're very nice. Anyway, that's part of the bars we have. We have also like shabby chic bars, as I told you, glowing bars, modern bars. So everyone will adapt the style of bar to their actual surrounding that they are going to create in their wedding. Okay, so we have quite a choice. It's not just doing a cocktail bar. We have one bar, and okay, we have coming to do cocktails. We play part of the atmosphere they want to create as well. So
hmm
that's very interesting. In fact, we have about 22 bars which they can choose
22.
from. Yes,
Wow.
so it's a big choice for them, and everyone will find that bar that they like.
Are you able to run concurrent weddings at the same time, or do you always want to make sure that you are there, Damien, personally, Damien?
Oh, to be honest, we do more than one wedding in an evening. I mean, we are capable of doing it. We have the equipment, we have the
Right.
bar. Obviously, staff has to be good staff. I mean, we don't overdo it. We It's important that staff know what they are doing and do this job week after week after week all year. So obviously they know what they're doing. Obviously, also in the wedding there will be someone which is responsible in charge of the wedding. But yes, where I can, obviously I go to the wedding myself as well. But it's not, I have to say, I mean, it's not always possible.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, we can cater for more than one event in an evening.
Okay, and so in terms of having a certain Damien's cocktail standard, being able to run multiple weddings at the same time, it's important that you remain consistent, right? That
That's
the
important.
brand
Yes,
is always giving the same quality, the same service, etc. So how
that's
important is this for you, and how do you maintain this?
Well, actually, it's very, very important. In fact, I had recently a guest, I mean, not a client, but a guest. He came up to me during a wedding and he told me, well done. And I said, okay, for what? I mean, and he said, because I've seen you a lot of weddings and you've always been consistent. You have always given the same type of service. Cocktails have always been same quality, and I appreciate it. I mean, it helps to motivate us even more. I mean, even staff obviously have to enjoy doing their work to do a good job, and yeah, everyone enjoys it. I mean, it's not an easy job, but it's a fun job at the end of the day. So that's keeping staff happy, and obviously good training is very, very important. So this will all come. This will all show in the consistency that obviously we will try to keep.
Okay. And when you say training, Damien, do you mean training by yourself? I mean, you're an expert in the cocktail business, but are there any courses that one can go to? Let's say I want to become I want to start doing cocktails. Visit ITS. Are there international courses? Are there online courses? How does it work?
Yes, there are online courses. There are also, like how you are saying, ITS and other um, how do you say it? Other,
Faculties, yeah.
yeah, faculties that can teach you how to make cocktails.
Right.
To be honest, how I learned myself was a bit different. I mean, I learned through my own initiative
Sure.
and through experience, through observing maybe other bartenders and growing this way. So I didn't actually go to school, to be honest, about the catering
Sure.
industry. Regarding obviously our staff, obviously I'm the one that will teach them um, how to do cocktails, how to be consistent, how to be obviously fast and thinky. So when you are at a wedding, it's not easy as it seems. I mean, you have a lot of pressure, you have a lot of people demanding cocktails, everyone at
Sure.
one time. Someone wants this cocktail, someone wants the other cocktail.
Drunk people.
Yes,
um,
it
yeah.
has to be. You have to be fast, yeah, and you have to be focused to give a good service because if you're not focused during the rush period, I mean, it can go wrong. It can take long. It can, I don't know. But it's important to be focused. Important to have knowledge on what you are doing.
Cool. Talking about rushing to the bar, we have a question here by Elizabeth Lomax. Hi, what is more popular during events and weddings? Would you say cocktails, gins, whiskey, etc.?
Well, it depends obviously on the crowd that you have. I mean, some weddings even like come to us and say like, listen, I want a gin bar, because I have a lot of gin drinkers. I'm sure I have a lot of gin drinkers, and in fact, when we do the gin bar and we go to their wedding, we say that yes, it's true. We're very busy with the gin bar. Sometimes even the main bar is nearly empty.
Well,
Let's say. So it depends on the crowd. Some people like whiskey. Obviously, whiskey is more associated maybe to a winter wedding,
right.
um, but they also do whiskey bars in summer. So um, everything is popular. I mean, people will tend to drink or try whatever you have available in your wedding. To be honest. So, but having multiple bars, it makes it more exciting for them.
Cool. So, in terms, you mentioned summer weddings and winter weddings. Would you say that the cocktail bar setup is more popular in summer, or do you, like, you have clients that are like, listen, we're having a winter wedding, but we want whiskey kind of based cocktails because they're more wintry?
Uh, well, to be honest, when you mention a cocktail bar, the first thing that comes into mind is having cocktails in summer next to
Yeah.
maybe the beach, next to a pool,
Sure.
whatever. So a summer wedding will be ideal to have a cocktail bar. However, there are many cocktail bars that are done in winter as well. Obviously, from our side, we change maybe the style of cocktails being done from summer to winter. These
Right.
are changed. There might be some cocktails which are made either in summer and also in winter, but there are also some cocktails that are made in summer, but we avoid to do them in winter. Obviously, as you mentioned, maybe we could even introduce some whiskey cocktails like in winter time. You can like drinks with coffee, with some liqueurs, with some liqueurs. So um, it's still good to have a cocktail bar in winter. And
Yeah.
there's a perception. Some people, not everyone, but some people say a cocktail bar does not go in winter. And I ask,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, if you go in winter and take a beer from the bar,
Exactly.
served cold. If you go from the main bar and take, let's say, a gin tonic, it's served cold. Uh,
Mushek.
I mean, what difference is because it's a cocktail? I mean, the
Yeah.
cocktail bar is more exciting, you know. And honestly, we've had weddings in winter that were very, very busy, and you say, okay, it's like a summer wedding, you know. So
Yeah.
it all always depends on the crowd you have, basically, you know.
Sure. And I mean, if there's a wedding in whatever, let's say January, I'm inventing, April or I don't know, September, the same amount of alcohol is gonna be drunk for sure. I mean, I don't think it's going to change anything. And like you said, if someone's having a beer in January or a cocktail, I will have a cocktail in January, kind of thing,
Why not?
for
I
sure.
mean, if you take, as I said, a gin
I'll have
tonic,
a cocktail right now, actually.
I'll send you one.
Good. We have some comments here, Damien. So Elizabeth actually told you, thank you for the answer with regard to her first question. So thank you, Lisa. Michael Borge said he's watching and proud of you.
Okay. Hi,
Thank you.
Michael.
Thanks, Michael, for your comment. And Alexander Bransby here is asking, okay, good question. So what is the weirdest cocktail you've been asked to make?
This is a very tricky question.
Yeah,
Obviously, we have a lot of requests when making cocktails, and so also during the menu setup, we also have requests for like signature cocktails.
right.
Um, uh, Basically, um, well, I wouldn't say it's the weirdest request, but I had a request that she wanted the cocktail a gold color,
Okay.
and obviously we can do something with gold, like gold petals and stuff like
Yeah,
this, but we cannot obviously make a cocktail as far as I know of, like it really looks like gold. So
yeah.
this was a request quite a few years back, and yeah, that's maybe the weirdest
Cool.
one I had.
Yeah, and Alberta kind of asked the same question here. I don't know if no, it won't show all of it, but is there any, maybe the craziest cocktail? So we mentioned this gold one that you've been asked to make for a wedding, or maybe any funny stories that you can tell us. I don't know if there's anything that is appropriate to mention.
Well, I mean, we go through a lot of stories during weddings. I mean, you see a lot of drunk people, funny, not drunk people as such. I mean, but they're happy, they're a bit tipsy, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
they say funny things, they act weird sometimes. So I mean, there's a lot, there's a lot.
Don't we all?
And well, I just remembering one thing. Once, I mean, there was this guy. Um, so he was I don't know, maybe about 60, 70 years old. I remember. and we have a cocktail. Its name is Waikiki,
What's that?
and Waikiki,
Waikiki. Okay.
Waikiki. And this guy came and he was like at the bar, and there was me and another two barmen, I remember, and we laughed at this. I'm gonna tell you what he said, because the way he said it, and
Right.
he told us winky winky, and and it absolutely we broke laughing. I mean, I couldn't hold it, but it's the way that he said it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I can imagine.
tears from our eyes, and it couldn't even work anymore. I mean, it was really. And then one of the barmen told him like, sorry, what did you say? He said it again, like winky,
Lalo.
and it was really really funny.
طيبة. طيبة, I like it. Okay, so more comments, but we are already over half an hour, so yeah, let's just pop them up. So we have, yeah, any day is a good day for cocktail by John. Um, if you want to deliver one, John, you can do so. I'm here, so yes, please. And Alberto said, Jonathan, indeed. And another comment, Anthony Delia, keep strong, my friend.
Uh, I admit.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, so going into another question, you mentioned we've been talking a lot about weddings, and you even mentioned foreign clients, local clients. So, in terms of audience, what would you say? So let's start from the market. So local market, we're talking about weddings. Do you do other stuff as well? Corporate events, personal events? Tell us a bit
Yes.
about that.
So yes, our obviously biggest market is the local wedding market.
Hmm.
So I would say like 80% of our work would be with the local wedding market.
Okay.
However, we also have some foreign weddings,
Hmm.
which obviously come up. We work a lot also like parties, like birthday parties, anniversaries. We work quite a lot even with the gaming industry,
Right.
and we also cater for large festivals, like say like music festivals as well. So it's quite vast. I mean, it's not a boring job. You have something to do.
Okay. Cool. And and the split you said is mostly weddings. Is
Yes,
this the
most
biggest?
likely. Yes, yes,
And mostly local, correct?
yes. That's it.
Okay. Cool. And we actually had a question here about this. So is it mainly local weddings that ask for a cocktail bar setup, or is this a popular trend with destination weddings also?
Oh, we
So
have, as I mentioned, some foreign weddings, destination weddings. Obviously, the type of wedding is a bit different. Like foreign weddings work in a different way than locals do.
right.
So basically, we could be serving cocktails for 10 hours when it comes to a foreign wedding, and sometimes we can just do, example, the after party, which will take 4 to 5 hours. An
Wow.
after party in a Maltese wedding would be 1.5 hours, whereas an after party for a foreign wedding would be about 4 to 5 hours. So it's a different mix of culture, and obviously we work to everyone's own demand. So everyone has their own demands, their own requests, and we are flexible to what they ask for.
Cool. A curious question, literally just popped into my head. How would, on an average wedding, would you say how many liters are consumed? Let's say liters of whiskey, liters of gin, liters of, I don't know, whatever. Do you have
Well,
a rough estimate?
Well, to be honest, I have never taken into consideration the amount of liters, let's say, but I can tell you how many cocktails are made.
Okay, sure.
So um, uh, we calculate that in like a 350 people wedding, we will make about 1,000 cocktails. Okay, so that's in
So three each, give or take.
give or take three each, because there will be some people that will take six. Some people will take nothing. So an average would be about three cocktails per person. So if you have
Oh,
like 500 people wedding, we will make an average of 1,500 cocktails, and that will be in basically 4 hours. So
right.
it's quite a large amount.
Or if it's someone from our team going on a night out, it would be like 10 each. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I mean, we have people that with just one cocktail, it's it's game over. So
Yeah.
we're quite lightweight. Cool. So I am aware of the time. We are going on to 40 minutes already. Um, uh, Time flies, Damien.
No, it does.
So, going into the last three questions here, and please, guys, if you have any other questions, please get them in whilst we still have time. The questions have been great, so thank you. Okay, so we have Alberta laughing here because she knows what I'm talking about, being lightweight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what is the difference? Would you say you touched on it a bit already, but are there any other differences apart from maybe going whiskey versus something else in between a summer and a winter wedding?
Well, basically, the only, not the only, but one of the differences that a winter wedding would be indoors,
Right.
and summer wedding would be outdoors. So the feel of the wedding is totally different, let's say.
Okay.
However, when it comes to cocktail bars, as I already mentioned, people will still drink. It's as if it's a cocktail bar, if it's a cocktail, if it's a gin or vodka, whatever, they're still going to drink. So if you give obviously more option, being winter or being summer, it's good for even the atmosphere of the wedding. I mean, and as I said, even the flow through the main bar will reduce a bit. Obviously, whiskey. Let's say you mentioned whiskey. It's more consumed in winter than in summer. Yes, and as I mentioned also before, we can also and we do introduce one or two whiskey cocktails on the menu for a winter wedding. So basically, sometimes we used to also do cocktails, which are chilled but without ice.
Okay.
So that also will help to not be very cold, let's say. Okay, so they are chilled but served without the ice. Not all of them. It depends what cocktails are being served. Obviously, we'll have a selection of cocktails,
Hmm.
and so that's basically it. So we will always adapt to a winter style wedding when it comes to cocktail bars or gin bar or whiskey bar, whatever.
Cool. So, imagine I am planning my wedding, Damien, and I am interested in a cocktail bar. What advice do you have for couples? Um, what should they look out for when selecting Damien's cocktails or their supplier? What are the must-haves? What are the listen? You need to know about this. Beware of this. Take note of this.
Well, I mean, there's nothing, I mean, to be aware of. I mean, there's always, as I mentioned, an advantage of having a cocktail bar or any type of different bar apart from the main bar.
Right.
It always helps in the um, in also in the distribution of the people, which means when we set up bars in a venue, we do not um, set up close to the main bar as much as
Right.
possible. So also, if you have like 400 people, they are not all in one section, one area. You are diversing their positioning, and it helps. As I said, it helps having a smoother running wedding when it comes to bars in general. So I mean, obviously, what they have to look out for also, I mean, from our point of view, is maybe the bar that they decide that they want,
Okay.
and obviously, it makes plays a part in the decor of their wedding because it's not a table, it's an actual bar. I mean, with all the facilities installed inside.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are helping to enhance the experience of the guest, even with the atmosphere that we create with the actual bar, plus also the service, obviously.
Right, and if they're, let's say, again, a couple that they don't drink, let's say they're not, they don't drink alcohol, so they
Mhm.
have no idea what to get. They want a cocktail bar for their guests, but they
Yeah.
have no idea. Like, listen, we should get this, we should get a mojito, sex on the beach. I don't know. Um, how do you guide them? How can you guide me to choose the best menu possible for my guests?
Obviously, I will guide each and every couple to what we can do. We set a meeting and we discuss the menu together. So basically, a menu is not a fixed menu. We always take the ideas of what the couple wants. Maybe the couple knows something about cocktails, and maybe, as you mentioned, they do not know anything about cocktails. So I will guide them to make the best menu possible. Obviously, each and every event, each and every wedding for us as well, it's an advert. I mean, it's
Yeah.
word of mouth is the best advertising method. So we want the best for them, and it will be also the best for us. So I will obviously guide them to what we can do, show them also recipes, whatever. And
Yeah.
it's not very, because some people think, okay, I'll have a cocktail bar. I don't know what I need. I don't know
Yeah.
what I have to bring. Obviously, I will guide them to everything. So I'm doing the actual job, and they just relaxing, So
Cool. That's yeah important. Okay, so thanks for that. And going into this question before last, how would you say cocktails have they become part of the wedding culture? And if so, like since when? Maybe did you see a change, a shift? And what do you see maybe even for the future for this culture in terms of yeah cocktails?
To be honest, yes, I think cocktail bars have become part of the wedding culture in Malta.
Hmm.
Um, I would say 70% of weddings do have a cocktail bar or a different themed bar. Um, so yes, everyone, nearly whoever I meet and went to a wedding, most of the time find a cocktail bar.
Well,
Obviously, I've been open since, as I said, 2005, 2006,
hmm,
and it's always growing. It's always growing. Apart from cocktail bars, as we already mentioned, there's a lot of other themed bars, like gym bars are very popular at the moment. Whiskey bars as well, especially in winter time. And yeah, so there's it is this part of the wedding culture. It's like you need to have a caterer, you need to have a band, you need to have a DJ, you need to have a cocktail bar. So not everyone does a cocktail bar, but I would say about 70% of
70% is quite high.
do have a cocktail bar or any other style of bar apart of the main bar.
Okay, cool. All right. So thanks so much, Damien. Going into the last question, in terms of the current situation, how has it affected maybe you personally and even the business, and what do you see the way forward now that we seem to be slowly getting out of it, at
Well,
least locally? So can you
well,
tell us a bit about this?
Well, as other suppliers, definitely everyone knows the situation. I mean, it has affected us with postponements of weddings. So
Yeah.
a lot of postponements, like from March, April, May, went to September, October, November,
Right.
December as well, and some of them from June, July, August have went to next year.
Hmm.
Um, but currently, we are also um, seeing people that postpone to September, let's say, and are postponing again to next year. So next year is gonna be quite full. I mean, hopefully, if this pandemic um, goes over us. Honestly, personally, it's affected me in a good way. Let's say I'm not saying it's good. I mean, we're losing a lot of work, and we lost a lot of work.
Right.
Uh, However, I'm also taking my time to um, prepare for the busy season. Also, building some new bars, which is they're going to be quite interesting.
Cool.
Also, creating different cocktails. Taking my time to prepare. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
On a personal note, I am also maybe spending some more time with my children, which in summertime especially I
Great.
never do because I'm busy morning till night. And but yeah, this has been a good time for this. Um, yeah, I mean, we have to see what's gonna happen. I mean, this year we still have bookings which are from September on.
Sure.
Couples are hoping that things will get better till then.
Hmm.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But if it does, hopefully we can start obviously something this year as well. As I said, like other vendors, we have lost a lot of work. Let's say, not because of the postponing, because even of the cancellations, that there were some that changed to a different year, a different date, and we were already fully booked. So obviously we have lost a lot of work, and they filled from next year. Um, uh, are filled from couples from this year, which obviously um, new couples that might want our service will find the date full as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, it affected us a bit bad in this way. I mean, like obviously it affected everyone. I mean, suppliers we talk together as well, and everyone is in the same situation.
Yeah, what for sure you like you said you're enjoying at least a bit of the downtime and being able to spend with family. But the upside of it is that you're going to be smashed next year for sure.
Yes,
2021 is going
definitely.
to be. I mean, even Alberto's mentioning here, we will have an even better Damon's cocktails to look forward to in 2021. So get your rest now before next year because you're barely going to sleep.
Yes, that's it. We never sleep. I mean, when it's busy in summer, you hardly sleep. You sleep 2 3 hours every night. So it's really hard. But
Yeah,
it's a nice job. It's a challenging job. So I mean, we enjoy doing it.
cool. That's great, Damien. I don't know if you'd like to mention or bring any final words to the viewers here before we bring the session to a close because we're at 50 minutes now.
Okay. Well, basically, there's not much to say. I mean, we said it all. I think. Well, for those who are postponing, obviously it's a hard time for them. Like it's a hard time for us as well. But we try to accommodate everyone, obviously, where we can.
Yeah.
And well, keep your hopes up, everyone. So we will start doing weddings again, and everyone will enjoy themselves, enjoy the cocktail bars, obviously. And well, that's basically it.
Cool. Thank you so much, Damien. I appreciate
Thank
all your feedback and the interesting answers to the questions as well. So I thank you all. I would like to thank all the viewers as well. I'm going to wave you goodbye, Damien.
See you.
And
Thank you very much.
thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Episode 12 of the Get Hitched live wedding chat show. Interesting guests as usual. But this time we had something new, Damien's Cocktails, discussing cocktails and anything related to cocktails and bars. Lots of experience from Damien that he brought to the market in Malta, and very interesting bars from his end, and something new that we can look forward to while he's working on it right now. So we look forward to, I personally look forward to any wedding that I will meet Damien at to see what he's been up to. Thank you for tuning in to all the guests. Thanks for all the comments. Have a great one, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.